Glory to Jesus Christ. This is going to be a video about prison gangs. Specifically, I want to talk about volunteer safety in interacting with gang members or potential gang members. First off, prison gangs are a fact of life in corrections throughout the world, and especially in America. Okay, if you are going into a prison or a jail or even a community corrections center, you are working with gang members. Not every inmate is in a gang, but many of them are. And you probably won't even ever know it. And that's good. I mean, I don't want to know those things. Sometimes they have like the real obvious tattoos and stuff, but for the most part, no. The reason that this is important to someone such as myself who is just going in, one night, 2 nights, coming back out, leaving at the end of every night, thank God. It's important because if you're not careful, and if you don't understand kind of how the prison social system works and how the hierarchy works, you can actually wind up putting yourself in a lot of danger, and you can wind up putting other inmates in danger too. During your time volunteering in the secure section of the prison, and I'm speaking specifically to missionaries here, the topic of gangs is likely to come up. Somebody might have a question about it, or you might feel as you're discussing, doing your little exegesis of whatever the readings are that you're doing, you might mention gangs in the context of violence. That's okay. But you have to be real careful that you don't mention any specific gangs. And as a matter of fact, I would recommend that you don't use that word. You'll hear people talk about organizations. Same thing. Kind of like how Mario Puzo, when he wrote The Godfather, he never used the word mafia. Okay. Never mention specific gangs. Why? Why does it matter if I mention the Bloods or the Crips or the Latin Kings or the Aryan Brotherhood or the Mexican Mafia or whoever? Why does it matter if I talk trash about them during my little volunteering time? Right? What are they going to do? Stand up and shoot me? No. It's going to be worse than that. Let's say you have somebody who is... Oh, I'm just pulling a random gang out of my mind here. Let's say you have someone who is in the Aryan Brotherhood. This is one of the most dangerous prison gangs. So you have somebody who's in the Aryan Brotherhood, or they're like a paid informant for the Aryan Brotherhood, keeping tabs on their cell block or whatever. And they come to your religion meeting. Maybe they're sincere, maybe they're not. Doesn't matter. They're in the room. You have to deal with them. Now, chances are they're not going to walk right up to you and go, "Hey, I'm in the AB." But the other inmates are going to know it. Or they're going to know that that individual, is in cahoots with them. Let's just say. So if you come out with guns blazing and somebody asks a question about prison gangs or gang life or even the social conditions on the outside, lack of family, lack of education that kind of encourage people to join gangs or kind of increase the likelihood that somebody will feel that desire. If you wind up saying anything really defamatory or derogatory or just, and see, I've got to be careful with this video too, saying, for example, well, XYZ gang, they're just a bunch of pussies. If they really had any balls, they would give up the gang lifestyle and follow Jesus. Okay, you do not say something like that. Okay? Because look, let's say that you've got John Q. Public. John Q. Public is in such and such a prison gang, and he's in your meeting. Okay, you don't know it, but everyone else does in the room. And I really do mean everyone. This isn't a secret. Okay? They know. If you talk trash about that gang, whatever gang it is, you talk trash and he doesn't retaliate, his own gang is going to kill him. Remember, in prison, respect is everything. It might not be respect like you and I think of respect, but there is a social hierarchy. There's a pecking order. And if you are in a gang, and you hear that gang being disrespected and you don't stand up, and retaliate, your own gang is going to put your name in the hat, so to speak. You have to understand that. You also have to understand that retaliation doesn't necessarily mean that he's going to just charge at you that night. He's probably not. It could be a year later. Remember, inmates have time. They don't have a lot of anything else, but they have time to plot and to plan and to strategize. And so all you need to do is let your guard down. You make a snarky comment about some organization, and then 6 months later, who knows? You're also putting that inmate in danger, and you're putting the other inmates in danger. Because all of a sudden, you've introduced that element of prison life into your missionary work. Okay? Let's say you have a young guy. It's his first time being incarcerated. He's maybe 18, 19, 20. And he's not affiliated with any organization when he comes in the prison, but he's recruited sooner rather than later by, again, whatever gang. He's an initiate. It's like in Orthodoxy, we would say he's a catechumen. Okay, well, in gang lifestyle, unfortunately, they have a similar thing. He's an initiate. He's on, probation, So he has to prove himself. He has to prove that he deserves membership in this organization. So, what's going to happen to him if one of the generals finds out that this guy went to church and heard you say whatever it is you said and just took it up the Okay? You have to think like this, and it's depressing. I always have to think about what's going on underneath the surface. Now, of course, being in prison gangs is illegal. But if you're serving a life term already, what do you care if they throw you in the hole for a month or two? You gotta learn how to think this way. It's foreign to anyone who is not incarcerated. But don't think, please, don't think that just because you're going in there with your Bible that you're safe. You're not. But most of the danger actually comes from you doing stupid crap, saying stupid crap. Okay? Don't invite danger. You're going to be telling them radical things anyway. You're going to be telling them to forgive. You're going to be telling them to try to make peace with people that they don't like. That's a radical message, even on the outside and in a prison. I mean, it's scandalous. So you need to do that. You need to boldly stay on message. That is part of the gospel message. But don't put yourself in unnecessary danger. There's a difference between courage and stupidity. Okay? Courage is, I have to bring the gospel in here even though I might suffer for it. Stupidity is, oh, nothing's going to happen to me because I got my Bible. Yeah, shut up. You don't know crap if you think like that. Don't be cavalier. Do not count on being protected because you're a volunteer. And it doesn't matter, by the way, if you're working with women or men, or if you are a woman or a man. If you're a woman, probably maybe you're marginally safer, believe it or not, from this violence. Because some of the gangs actually, they are confined, their activity and their membership is combined to men only. But don't trust that. Again, you don't know Jack. Thank God you don't know Jack. But don't tempt fate. Okay? Keep your lips zipped, except when God demands otherwise. So it's just something to think about. It's one of those things I think you have to kind of just get some experience under your belt before you understand that. So, anyway, I hope this was helpful, and later, see you next video.